Hello and welcome to Pokemon Lair. My name is TD and today we'll be unboxing a box of 10 Pokemon cards that I just got back from PSA or Professional Sports Authority, and they box them in these nice little boxes, nice and secure and safe for shipping, and they come really packaged well. So let's get them out of here and let's see what grades I got. Hi, we're looking at a 1999 Pokemon game-based Squirtle, the number 63 card. Looking at the front of this card, I don't see any damage or scratches or creases. Looking at our edges and our corners, I think they look really good for this old card. As we look at the back of the card, you can see that the surface looks really nice. Our centering is definitely within the specs. But as we look at our corners and our edges, the upper left and the lower right corner have a little bit of damage, very slight. But if you look just almost center of the upper edge, there's a nasty piece of damage right there. And with that damage, then we're going to get a grade of near mint 8 for Squirtle. That's not too bad. I thought we might have got a worse grade than that. I'm glad we got a good grade. Let's look at a 1999 Pokemon game-based Starmie, the number 64 card. Looking at the front of this card, you can see that the surface looks really good and clean. I don't see any damage. Our centering looks really good. Looking at our edges and our corners, I don't see any damage there. Taking a closer look at the front of this card, and while I was looking at the edges, I think there's a small black speck in the upper yellow border. As we look at the back, the surface looks really good and our centering looks really good, but we have quite a bit of problems on our edges and our corners. All four corners have slight damage, and if you look, the right edge has some damage also. And with all that, that's going to give us a grade of near mint 7. Not too bad. You're looking at a 1999 Pokemon game-based Staryu, the number 65 card. As you can see, the front surface of this card has no damage. I don't see any problem with our centering. And looking at our edges and our corners, I don't think there's any issues there. This might be a really good card. As we look at the back, our surface looks beautiful. Our centering, though, is quite a bit to the left, and our edges and our corners, I think, look really good. So I think the only thing that will affect our grade is that centering on the back, and that's going to give us a grade of mint 9. That's pretty darn good for a Staryu. Now we'll look at a 1999 Pokemon game-based Tangela, the number 66 card. The front surface and graphics of this card look awesome. Our centering, I think, is well within spec, and looking at our edges and our corners, I don't see much damage there. Looking at the back, you can see that it looks really good. I think our edges and our corners actually look good too, but we do have quite a bit off centering to the left, and I think that's going to really affect our grade. That's going to give us a grade of near mint 8. That should have been a 9. The only thing wrong with it was the centering on the back. Wow. Let us take a peek at a 1999 Pokemon game-based Voltorb, the number 67 card. Looking at the front graphics and surface of this card, I see no problem there. Our edges and our corners look really good on the fronts of this card. Looking at our centering, though, I think it's slightly to the right, which I think is out of spec, which is going to drop us a grade, and we'll go on to our back. And as we look at the back, you can see that our centering problem goes to the left now, but our edges and our corners look really good, and the surface is really clean and beautiful. And with the centering being off on both front and back, that gives us a grade of near mint 8. Not too bad. That's pretty good. Let's examine a 1999 Pokemon game-based Weedle, the number 69 card. Looking at Weedle, you can see that the front surface of this card has no damage. Our centering looks within spec. I don't see any problem with that. And looking at our edges and our corners, I think they look pretty good. As we turn to the back, there is some problems with it. The surface and graphics look good, and our centering isn't too bad, but we have some edge damage on the upper edge and the two corners and the right side. And with that, that's going to give us a grade of near mint 7. That's not too bad with all that damage. Could have been worse. Let's check out a 1999 Pokemon game base maintenance, the number 83 card. This trainer card looks really good on the surface and front. I don't see any problems. Our centering looks really good from top to bottom and side to side. I think it's definitely within the spec. And our edges on our corners are really clean. As we turn the card over, you can look at it and see that it looks really pretty good on the surface. Our centering doesn't look too bad, but as we get to looking at the corners and our right side, there is damage on that. And that's going to give us a grade on this maintenance of near mint 8. I like it. I'll take it. We're looking at a 1999 Pokemon game base energy removal and number 92 card. The front surface of this card is pretty clean. I don't think it ever was played with. Our edges and our corners look good, and our centering, I think it's pretty darn good too. As we look at the back, our centering looks pretty good and the surface looks really nice. As we look at our edges and our corners, the right side and two corners and the lower edge all have quite a bit of damage. And that's really going to affect our grade, and I wonder what we're going to get. Very good, excellent, 4. Wow, they hit us hard for that damage on the back. As we look at a 1999 Pokemon game base Gust of Wind, number 93 card, the front surface looks really nice. I really like this card, this trainer. The front centering looks really nice. I like it. Our edges and our corners, I don't see any issues. Flipping the card over and looking at the back, you can see that the back is really clean. I don't see any damage. The centering is slightly off, but I think it's within tolerance. But as we look at our edges and our corners, we have slight damage on all 4 corner sides and edges. And that's going to give us a grade of near mint 7. I'll take it. Let's take a look at a 1999 Pokemon game base Switch, the number 95 card. The front surface of this Switch trainer looks really good. The centering, I think, is within the spec. And our edges and our corners, I don't see any damage or anything that could affect our grade. As I take a look at the back of this card, the overall appearance of the surface looks really good. Our centering, I think, is within tolerance or spec. As we get to our edges and our corners, there's some slight damage on all 4 corners, and there's a couple of nice pieces of damage on each side. And that should give us a grade of near mint 7. Wow, these older cards, the original base cards aren't grading as well as I thought they would. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and remember, subscribe and like, and don't forget, you gotta catch them all.